We talk about so many things. Do we talk about Memphis a lot? Yes, we do. We talk about sports, business, culture, money, you name it. And sometimes we offend Olympians. I mean, sometimes. Listen, I say we as a collective. Look at me. I would never offend an Olympian, specifically an Olympic champion. But I cannot say the same for the man to my left.
Oh, my goodness.
Greg Graber, explain yourself.
I feel like I'm on the spot here. Do we have like 2 hours?
How about that for an opening? I just wanted.
This has been something else.
I want that seat hot, boy.
So it's a long story, but I'm going to make it as concise as I can so we can get into it. Because I know you guys are going
to. Assume nobody knows what is happening.
All right. So I am last Thursday night flying back from New York, working with Fordham University basketball team. I get a call from an editor at USA Today. Wants me to write an 800-word article kind of in the context of Lindsey Vonn, but really all athletes when they get older and they're dealing with injuries.
Sure.
The caveat was he needed it early the next morning. And I'm like, I'll be glad to do it. I'm not going to get home till midnight, but when I get home, I'll write it. Because I was figuring the USA Today has 2 million online subscribers, 200,000 paper subscribers. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
What could possibly
Nothing like
go wrong?
writing an article after midnight.
I mean,
with 2 million readers on the line.
So I start writing it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was objective. I did it from the perspective of someone as a mental performance coach who works with elite athletes, but from an outsider perspective.
Sure.
And I said several times in the article, nothing but respect for Lindsey. I'm not telling her what to do. I'm not judging her, but here's my experience. And I talked about the benefit of having multiple identities as an athlete. So when your playing time comes to an end, psychologically, all your eggs aren't in one basket.
Sure.
All of your self-worth isn't tied in to being an athlete.
You mentioned an article about writing down the things you are other than an athlete. So you really played into this. I mean, it wasn't
time.
Like Lindsey's old, she needs to hang it up. It
I
wasn't
didn't say anything like that.
And you shared the article with us before it went live, and we both thought it was
I thought it was a great read. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah. And I said, here's an exercise that I do. What you just said, Alex. Let's make a list. Tell me 10 things that you are above and beyond a basketball player or a skier or whatever. And most of them can't.
Yeah.
They can do 1 or 2 or 3. We try to get 10 or 20. And I said, she's dealing with pain. And I used a Viktor Frankl quote from Man's Search for Meaning, but there's probably meaning beyond that pain, and it's not for us to judge. And I thought, this is a heck of an article.
Nailed it.
This is a heck of an article.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Nailed publish.
Even
nailed it.
My music friend will love this. Even a Neil Young quote.
Yeah.
Better to burn out than fade away,
Yep.
right? Sent it. I went out early Saturday morning. I get a tweet from none other Lindsey Vonn herself.
The Queen has chimed in.
Arguably the famous athlete in the world at this time during the Olympics. She was not happy.
She wasn't happy. She wasn't happy.
She did not share your same feelings on her career choices.
Not at all.
At this point in her life.
Not at all.
She did not.
And I did not say she was out of her prime as a human being. I questioned indirectly a 41-year-old skier with a fake knee and a torn ACL may not be in her competitive prime.
Seems reasonable.
I mean, one would think.
Seems reasonable.
I would like to chime in on that because our bodies are, overnight I lost my vision in my 40s. Like I went from 20/20 vision to waking up the next day to like needing readers, right? LeBron James. I mean, you mentioned some greats, right?
And I mentioned all guys.
All guys.
For a reason. We'll get to that.
But we can all sit here and say that you have a prime as an athlete. And typically that's sometime in your 20s.
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt.
And especially in a downhill, intense ski. I mean, you're going 65 miles an hour straight down a mountain. Yeah, like it's an intense thing. I think that most of us would say that the skill needs to be aligned with the athletic ability, and that she certainly had those things.
Yeah.
But was it the best she's ever been athletically
It's a great way to put it.
together, which would be her prime? I don't think anybody could argue.
Next time I'm writing an article, I'm calling Alex.
Probably just because
that's a great way to put it.
She was leading in whatever. That just means she's better than everybody else.
She's amazing.
But that doesn't mean that she's in her prime.
Yeah.
Especially post all these injuries.
Correct.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're in your late 20s. If you've had that many leg and knee injuries and you're still trying to play a sport, you are no longer in your prime.
Without a doubt. And the comparisons were, I talked about Messi.
Yep.
I talked about Tyson getting
People didn't
knocked
like
out.
the Tyson.
They didn't like that?
They didn't like that at all.
I should have just done the positive ones, right?
But retrospective
Phillip Rivers.
now, retrospective now, you can say that, hey, there's maybe a couple things I would have written differently, and that's okay.
Maybe not. But so the interesting thing was, after she tweeted at me, I probably got 9,000 tweets. My emails start going crazy. People are calling former employers they've looked up, trying to get me doxxed and canceled. And then here's the really good part. USA Today, one of their sports writers, Nancy Armour, a real hack, writes an article on me being a misogynist. My article, she said, I didn't read it. Friends told me. I don't read the negative stuff. It was misogynistic garbage.
I did read her article.
I didn't like her article.
I did not either.
Someone said it was like a Twitter.
Because I know you well. Have a lot of respect for you.
I appreciate that.
You were
Likewise.
one of the foremost experts in this world to even be speaking on this topic. And you've got someone who literally just wrote a glowing piece on Lindsey that said, before you wrote yours, that said, if she wants to do it, she can do whatever she wants, sit down and shut the F up.
Yeah, she's a bootlicker, man. She's made a career off of her.
It was ready. It almost felt a little bit contrived by USA Today. I don't know if it was or not, or their PR team to have this.
Sure.
And how they chose you to do
honestly,
it.
good business. On their front. If they knew this was going to happen, then it inspired clicks.
It was clickbait.
It tells you a lot. So there was a book that came out about a year or two ago called The Age of Grievance by Frank Bruni, who is a CNN guy. And it's so spot on. People don't read anymore to learn or reflect. It's all about hot takes.
Sure.
Well, they say 40% of Americans won't read one book this year. It shows with that article. I guarantee 99% of the people who flamed me did not read my article.
No, absolutely not.
It took me reading the article 3 times before I could eloquently defend it. I feel like to have the conversation with you. I read it 3 times. So there's no way that even if you read it one time and you skin it, no matter where you're distracted on your phone or you're on a plane or you're at a cheer competition or whatever I had going on, still was like, okay, wait a second, what are people? Why are they saying this? Right, and it's in the first paragraph. Her age came up, and so it's ageism. It's just that immediately kind of this.
It's
thing
ridiculous.
The misogynistic part, I do not. Yeah. Is that because you were critical of a woman at all? That makes you misogynist?
I don't know. I was critical of Mike Tyson in the article too, right?
I think you can make the argument. If you want to make the argument that she is still an elite athlete and she can do whatever she wants to, regardless of age. If you want to make that argument, I'll listen to that.
I'm fine,
that's the opposite of what your take was, and I think that's a fine argument, and you can have that discussion. And to be honest, she can do whatever she wants to do if she wants to.
And I never discouraged her from doing it. I never said she couldn't do it or she shouldn't do it. I just said, from an outsider perspective who's dealt with athletes, let's speculate about this. I wonder if this is a reason.
There are a lot of boxers who never can fully retire, even though the whole world is watching them getting their heads beat in.
That's a good point.
Even former elite boxers who they lose that inkling of a step, but that's all it takes for them to start getting pummeled, and they just can't. They're a boxer.
People have died in that ring.
Yeah, they just can't stop taking fights because they're taking a paycheck and this is what I do and what else am I going to do?
Yeah.
And so they just keep, and they're like, all their former glory and how great they were is gone, and they just still keep doing it.
Football players with CTE
Same thing. Like you you get locked in and this is what my job is, and I've still got 40 more years to live. I don't know what I'm going to do. On the flip side, I'm also in my 40s and I've had 5 knee surgeries. If you told me I could go play basketball tomorrow and not get hurt, I would do it.
Yeah.
The problem is that there's a great chance I'm tearing another ligament in my knee the first time I go play. So, like, her being on a torn ACL and being like, I'm still going to do this.
Not torn a year ago. She tore it 3 weeks ago.
And I felt, sadly, I felt somewhat vindicated when she wiped out in 13 seconds.
So the story's not over.
There you go.
It's not.
There you go. Well, now she won't be quiet. She's like, it's not because I was injured.
Yep.
That proves my point about the identity. That proves it.
Yep.
And that's fine.
Let me tell you this. I've watched the crash several times. I'm a huge Lindsey Vonn fan. I was rooting for her to win. I was rooting for, and you know, when maybe your ACL's torn or you're not in your prime, so to be mad at me for saying that, you have to find different advantages. And so she was running a line that was insane. It was fast and tight and something I could never do. I would never dream of shooting out that thing. I mean, like I would, no way. And so when she hit that line so close, her right pole gets caught inside the gate and it spins her around. And exactly what you said could happen happened. She's airlifted off the side of her.
Yeah, and I feel bad. I wanted her to do well too. No animus against her whatsoever. It wasn't meant to be a negative article. They asked for my expertise. It was in the opinion section.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. She's also gone after some doctors who have just said kind of similarly what you have just said. Maybe she's overcompensating because of the injury, stuff like that. Nothing against her, Nancy Armour, and all these other journalists around the country that jumped on it and called me a misogynist and an ageist and all this. They can all go you know where, but I'm not going to really answer or defend to these people. I figure I can either add to the dumpster fire or walk away. I'm going to walk away. My piece speaks for itself, and we saw what happened.
I agree.
So.
It's possible that injury, or ACL injury, did not cause this crash.
Could be.
Hugely possible. It's also possible that, like you said, for athletes that are so in tune with how their body works, suddenly you're now doing the sport and you don't have the exact same control you had before with one leg.
Mm-hmm.
And you just make the tiniest adjustment that is not something you would normally do because of an injury, and it causes the mistake. So it's not like maybe her leg didn't give out, which then caused her to crash, because obviously, her arm is what got caught, not her leg. But she probably made some decisions.
Without a doubt.
She said that she was 5 inches off. She said it in her rebuttal.
Why would you be 5 inches off? Except that you're running a race differently than you normally would outside of an injury.
Well, listen, thank God she's alive, first of all. She's got an incredible brand. She had an amazing career.
She sure does.
She's a U.S. Olympic hero. Lindsey, we love you. Thank you for everything that you've done. I think it's well said that this was an opinion that they used to turn into clickbait.
And if you ski again, don't be tweeting writers the night before.
Don't have rabbit ears.
The night before the biggest event.
Lock
in.
That's part of it too.
Could she be the first Olympian with a full knee replacement? Double full knee replacement? And maybe a fake tibia? Can't wait. Let's go for that.
Man, yeah. Well,
who are we going to offend next, Greg?
You got the Lindsey Vonn comeback.
We got a week. We got a week or two to do it.
Let's lock in on some figure skaters.
All right.
See who we can offend next. We're going to have a new episode. It's an all.
Glad it wasn't Tanya Harding. She'd come at me with a stick.
Tanya Harding is crazy. Man. These Olympians are serious, man.
They really are.
It only comes around every 4 years.
It's a little silly that your email gets flooded with people who don't read an article.
I took it down. I'm losing business.
Disagree with you. Like, it's okay to disagree with an opinion without telling somebody to go F off.
There's no nuance these days. In this whole toxic cancel culture, doxing is ridiculous. Come on, people, get a life.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. And speaking of the Olympic thing, it only comes around every 4 years, right? And so they've got their chance to capitalize every 4 years. It's not like an NBA player that can go out and, hang 40 one night and then take a few games off like John Morant's done.
All right. 45-year-old Lindsey Vonn. New knees, new legs.
She'll be back.
I'll be ready. I'm starting the article now.
Lindsey Vonn, Salt Lake 32.
All right. Can't wait. We have so much to talk about on this episode. I just wanted to get that one out of the way because Greg Graber is our local offender.
I've been called worse.
Me and Alex are the local defenders. Greg's our offender.
I've been called
We
worse.
got your back. Greg.
Oh man,
I know. I appreciate you guys.
When we come back,
the texts, the calls from you too. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're
and
welcome,
all my
sir.
friends. All my friends. Appreciate
You're
you
welcome.
guys.
We're here. We got your back. We got your back. When we come back, we're gonna talk about the Memphis Grizzlies and now Utah Jazz players. Can't wait. Hey, it's the Where It's At podcast.
Hey guys, I want to talk to you about signature advertising. For over 30 years, signature advertising has helped brands stand out, connect, and grow. We're a full-service marketing firm, but at heart, we're storytellers who know how to get results. We've worked with everything from startup companies to the biggest brands on the planet, including global leaders like FedEx, Hilton Hotels, ServiceMaster, True Green, and International Paper, as well as purpose-driven organizations like St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. If you're ready for a smarter strategy and creative that delivers, let's talk. Learn more at signature901.com.
Welcome back to the Where It's At podcast. I had to jump right in on the Lindsey Vonn stuff. So we'll actually tell you what's coming up on the show now. We're going to talk about, coming up a little later, we got Houston Cheer. We got some
Champions.
And Varsity Spirit. We got stuff to talk about there. Can't wait. We're going to talk about, what else are we talking about, Alex?
We traded Jaren Jackson Jr. since we saw each other last.
We did trade Jaren Jackson Jr.
And we didn't trade John
We
Morant.
we didn't trade him.
I would never have.
No,
Just like I would never
wouldn't.
offend an Olympian, I would never have traded Jaren Jackson Jr.
So we're going to try to, because this is a good news podcast, we're going to try to find the good in
We are.
whatever the
You guys
Grizzlies are
made me
doing right
feel
now.
weird.
We are going to try to find the good. I don't feel great about this one. I'm going to be honest with you. I want to find the good in this, but I am a guy who hates rebuilds. Like I do not live in the data nerd world. I look at let's try to win as many games as possible. I understand where people talk about where if it's just not working, you got to tear it down and rebuild it.
Yeah.
I get that. They're just, look at the Charlotte Hornets or the Sacramento Kings or the Brooklyn Nets or for the longest time the Sixers or the Washington Wizards.
We're all
Buddy, they've
rebuilds,
been
right?
rebuilding for quite a long time now, guys, and they may have said in the beginning, we're not trying to do a 5-year rebuild, and they just can't get the dudes. And we had the dudes. Now, was it going well because of injuries and other things? No. I'll grant that. But when you have the dudes,
We had the dudes.
we have the dudes, and luck fell in our favor at some point enough to get the dudes. And it's been unlucky since then because I think if all these guys are healthy, it's a good basketball team. And you can say, well, what if? You can't go with the what if. Well, you can say the what if about the rebuild as well. Well, what if we get lucky in the lottery again? We get a high draft pick. Okay, maybe. What if, when we got John Morant, that was not the odds.
No.
That was lucky.
Yep.
That doesn't happen often.
Right.
I mean, it just doesn't happen. So we finally had the dudes, and then it hasn't gone well for a couple of years due to unlucky circumstances with injuries, and then they decided they were going to blow it up. And I want to know, okay, fine. You got season tickets to sell. Who's going on the billboard? Who's going on the billboard? Who's selling?
I guess it's John Morant.
They're not, because they're going to get rid of him in the summer.
What a mess. Well, according to Brian Windhurst, he's got negative trade value right now.
He certainly did at the deadline.
What is it? That means you're getting a lot
That
less.
means
Obviously,
You got to
than
give up.
You have to give up stuff in order
to give him
to
away.
get to
get rid of him.
Like
It's
you're
not
paying
like
to get rid of him.
It's
Yeah.
like the Grizzlies if they called the Knicks and be like, all right, what will you give us for John Morant? And they go, give you.
You got to give us
What
a
will you
pick
give
and
us to
John
take
Morant.
John Morant
Wow.
off your
Right.
hands?
Wow.
And
Right.
so you have to add in draft capital.
Cash.
People
whatever.
want one of our
whatever.
first round draft pick. We got 13 or whatever first round draft picks now.
That's
they want those.
how sour that's gotten. And so
And what's the proverbial? It always is like 5 years to rebuild, they say. But to your point, it's usually longer, if ever. But why would it really take that long? Other than draft picks, I get. But like you do a couple of big trades,
So I'm on the positive side of this for me. If I'm the Grizzlies front office, I say, okay, we got Cedric Howard, who's probably a star.
He's good.
We probably have a guy that we can build around here. If we can get some guys healthy with Edie and Jerome, who's now come in and done some scoring, maybe you can be a 500 team next year. And then you get a draft pick, and now you're back in the playoffs.
Well, who you're calling half of your young core you're saying you're going to build around has not played in 2 years hardly in Zach Edey. Because he's been hurt.
He's too big.
And
have you ever seen the guy?
Yeah, he's huge.
He's
a
massive.
major complaint about Jaws. He doesn't play because he's hurt. So are you telling me you're getting rid of Edey too? Because you're not. They're not getting rid of Edey.
He's cheap.
He's cheap and he's really good. When he plays, super impactful and really good.
He plays 7 games at a time.
We just need 7-game chunks.
Does he play?
Can you play 7 games every 14 games?
Is he in his, question is,
7 on, 7 off.
is he in his prime?
Is it?
Yeah, I think he's in his prime. I think he's in his prime.
I think he is. He's a young man.
And so this is a bummer.
It looks rough.
It looks
rough.
rough.
If you're a Grizzlies fan, you're on the outside looking in.
Yep.
You're me. I took my young son to see the Orlando Magic play because Desmond Bain, who we traded away,
Yes.
to get money for Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren's first game back as an NBA player away from the Grizzlies was in Orlando. We're down there for this cheerleading championship, and I thought, well, that would be fun. Let's go see Jaren Jackson Jr. play Desmond Bain. Jaren Jackson Jr. can't miss. He's got 22 points.
That happens.
And Desmond Bain is incredible. And we're just sitting here, looking around this arena. I was like, the 2 best players on the floor right now are Memphis Grizzlies.
Isn't Dylan Brooks really good though? Like
He is also really good.
I mean, that happens to us all the time.
I
right?
do understand. Dylan is one that I understand probably had to go somewhere to thrive. I think he had delusions. He was never going to be the longest tenured Grizzly and give up the leadership role to defer to Ja or Jaren. He was always going to want to be the man. I do think it took him going elsewhere to really figure out, understand and embrace his role as not the number 1 guy.
Yeah.
Which, when he did that, it makes him really good.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Well, he'll shoot you right out of a basketball game.
He will shoot you right out of a basketball game. He does bring an edge that the Grizzlies did lose.
I love Dylan.
We
the villain.
loved him.
I loved him.
We loved him.
It's like a bad
we
wrestler.
hated him when he shot us out of the game.
That's exactly right.
But you don't want to see him on the other with the other team.
You know who I hope turns into something? At least a rotation player. He's never going to be like a star, but I hope he turns into a rotation player. Is Jemai Mashak, who is 2-way player. He's getting to play a bunch now because we don't play our best players
because our G League is out there.
Because we're trying to lose games.
We're tanking,
which is disgusting, and I hate organizationally in a locker room getting used to losing. If they get used to losing, well, then it doesn't bother them anymore when they lose. I want guys disgusted when they lose. Nonetheless, Jemai Mashak's getting to play. This guy is a defensive. It's alarming how good he is defensively and how silly he makes other NBA players look. He couldn't throw it against that wall.
Tony Allen.
Standing
Tony Allen
6 feet away. However, he's so much fun to watch because that's mine. And he just takes the ball.
He knows. He knows where his calling card is.
He embraces that. It's very Tony Allen-ish to where all right, how am I going to live in this league? I'm not going to be a scorer. Where am I going to find my niche?
Yeah.
And
Smart
buddy,
kid.
if he can ever figure out a corner 3 or just a mid-range jumper, something on offense that makes him not a liability, dude, he'll be a fan favorite.
Remember Yeager would tell me when he was coaching the Grizzlies, he would get so pissed when Tony would shoot.
Of course.
He would go nuts.
It was like Bill Simmons used to call him Trick or Treat Tony. So where for every trick he provided when he missed a layup or airballed a 3-pointer, it was almost like he'd be like, all right, my bad, I'll go get the ball back, and then he goes to cause havoc and get a steal. And you're like, all right, it's Trick or Treat Tony.
For every Twizzler you pulled out of the bag, you were getting a Reese's cup coming out of there.
So
Whoppers.
Trying to think positively, guys, and I like Cedric Howard. I like Zach Edey when he plays. He is a difference maker. I like Jemai Mashak. He's fun. He's super fun. Ty Jerome is a better Cam Spencer, and it's nice that everybody's getting to see that. I hope that guy can stay healthy. I mean, he's missed half the season.
How do you miss 45 games with a calf strain?
Because everything is a calf strain now, and Everybody's calf strains turns into Achilles tears.
We've got to figure out our health and fitness with the Memphis Grizzlies.
What is it?
I got to get these guys.
We have the best tasting water in the country, but is it something in our water that is causing all these guys to get hurt?
It's the Memphis curse.
It's the Memphis curse.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. The calf strains, you have to sit them because now they're think about the NBA playoffs last year. There were like 3 dudes with calf strains that turned into torn Achilles. Kevin Durant, a couple years back, it was a calf strain in the finals that turned into a torn Achilles because they were like, it's the finals. I got to play on it. I can't sit on this. Same with Halliburton and Lillard. They were all calf. They were not like out of nowhere Achilles tears.
So it's a half a season.
And so when you get a calf strain, man, it is like they're going to be so overly cautious with these dudes. But he's good. When he plays, he's good. It's like our whole team is when they play, they're good.
Yeah, damn it.
Just play.
Play.
So I want to ask you, Greg, about the coaching perspective here. Yeah. If the GM or the front office has, and this tanking thing, like it's very blatant. Okay, so Orlando and Jazz, I'm watching them. The Jazz are up 17. They're dominating. Jaren Jackson Jr., Lauri Markkanen, and Jurkic, whoever their center is, one of these, they're dominating. Fourth quarter starts. You're waiting for them to come back in. 7 minutes left, 6 minutes left, 5 minutes left. I'm like, they never put them back in the game. They lose by 1 point.
I can't stand the tanking thing, but from a coaching perspective, the couple of NBA coaches who I've worked with closely, I'm not going to name them, even though I named one, they don't have as much say-so as college coaches on a lot of that kind of stuff.
It's coming from the top.
Lineups, you were talking about, I'm not an analytic nerd either. I do the opposite of that for what I do, right, in the mind.
Right.
A lot of that comes from that. It's like decisions by committee. I'm not speaking now specifically about the Grizzlies because I don't know.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, the coaches sometimes are told who to play, how many minutes to play certain players, all that kind of stuff related to injuries, management load.
So they tank by putting in players who are not prepared to finish the game.
Yeah,
they're not as talented.
The
they're not as
players
skilled.
on the floor are trying.
They're going to go
try.
They're just not as skilled.
The way you battle against that is don't put the best players on the floor.
Jaren Jackson Jr. for John Conchar, which is what the Jazz did the other night. Yeah. There's going to be a little bit of a drop off.
Yeah, Jitty.
Jitty and Vince Williams in. And they were part of the trade. Yeah. Lauri Markkanen and Jaren Jr.
How do you get a job as a Jitty type? Just being not great and still getting millions of dollars?
If we could have figured that out, we would have been in the NBA.
I would have. Yeah. In the postgame, Will Hardy, their coach, Utah's coach, that I think some reporter asked him, like, in the fourth quarter, did you have any thoughts of putting Markkanen back in the game? He said, I did not.
Yeah, his JDH had made it very clear. If you want to coach here next year.
Even Isolo, like, I mean, this is happening. They're not putting in the game against the Warriors. The Grizzlies lose by 1. They blow a lead. They were leading the entire game. They blow a lead in the fourth. They score 15 points in the fourth quarter, and they have Ty Jerome on the bench. They have Scottie Pippen on the bench. When the Warriors go up 1, they don't call timeout. They just let the Memphis Hustle in Grizzlies uniforms go out there without any timeout and just like, hey, boys, let's go try to find a shot. See what happens. And they don't. They lose by 1. And that's on purpose. Though I do wonder, like, as a coach, like, yes, it's your boss that's telling you this is what we have to do.
Oh, they hate it.
But it's also your head on a platter at the end. Like,
when it's time for the rebuild, you're headed back to Germany. If you're not listening to what the GM's saying right now, you're fired.
Yes. And then if you just keep racking up game losses, when it's time to actually step on the gas to try to win, well, you now have 3 years worth of just being in tank mode, and then maybe like, you're not the guy for us anymore, and then you'll get
that around.
a Michael Malone or whoever is an established coach to now be the coach, and you were just the placeholder during a rebuild. I don't know how you mentally wrap your head around that, because obviously as a coach, just like the players, you're wired to try to win
without a doubt
as much as possible.
It's got to be tough from a psychological and emotional perspective. I've always said, and I know, throw it back to soccer, we're soccer guys. If they did relegation and promotion like in soccer,
it's such a great idea.
Like the last 3 teams in the NBA go down to the G League, and the top 3 go up to the NBA.
Yes.
So you'd have like the Rhino Bighorns in the NBA one year, right? And like the Grizzlies, God forbid, might go down to the G League.
100%.
And then there's financial incentive, because these Premier League soccer teams lose, I don't know, hundreds of millions when they get relegated.
I mean, I wish they did that in American professional soccer with USLC and MLS.
Yeah. They should.
The 2 teams. Let's bump them down, and that would it adds juice to it.
It would solve tanking in the NBA.
It would solve tanking.
You know?
I love just getting to add a little juice to it, which you could cripple a franchise.
Yeah,
economically.
and I think you do I think you could do something similar with the draft if you're not, because obviously, how do you promote a hustle and deep promote like your season tickets and corporate dollars? There's a lot of stuff going on there.
A lot going on.
But what if you took the bottom 3 teams and you said, okay, you're going to pick 10, 11, 12 in the lottery if you're the bottom 3.
Sure.
And then, everybody else after that.
Kind of incentive.
Yeah, you have no chance of getting the number 1 pick.
Yeah, if you want to tank all the way out, that's what then it became.
I like that too. Because I think at this point, you can't like they've had relegation and promotion forever in those leagues.
And you couldn't.
That's built into the system.
It would kill our franchise here. A small market like Memphis.
Yeah, you could not do that here.
And would they go play with the hustle? It would be like a mess.
But I do like that idea.
You're getting the hustle now.
Of if you're the bottom 3, you cannot get a top 3 pick.
You just can't. You're out.
You're out. Your best pick you can get is the 10th pick.
I like that.
Which is actually a great reason to try to win games.
At least a couple.
Yeah.
We're not. The Grizzlies are not going to win any games for the rest of the season. They're not trying to win any games because if you look at where they're at, a lot of other teams are trying to not win any games who are below them. So it's like you got to really suck.
There are better losers than the Grizzlies are.
Yeah. We won way too many games already.
What is it like? I know you go to the games. What is it like attendance-wise? I know what they announce, but what's it look like?
It's about the same. The lower experience, the lower bowl experience in the NBA is unlike any other profession. I think hockey and NBA are right up there where if you've got one of those tickets, you should go. Because if Ja Morant's not playing, LeBron James or Steph Curry or Giannis Antetokounmpo,
the other team is bringing their star. Yeah.
I mean, you look at Boston, every team, like somebody's rolling in talent. It's a once-in-a-generational talent. I think the NBA is at that point now where there's more. There's guys that will not be all-stars. Ja Morant is a good example. Jaren Jackson Jr. Neither one of these guys will be all-stars, and they are worth the price of admission. Laurie Markkinen the other night was absolutely worth the price of admission. Unbelievable.
And basketball is different to where you're so close to the action and they're not wearing pads. You can see their face. You can see everything. You could hear everything if you're in that lower bowl. That basketball is just different like that. Even if your team is tanking, the other team is probably not. And they're bringing in real NBA players that are real stars.
Now, let me tell you what Orlando was awesome at. It shouldn't surprise me that they were really good at their in-game entertainment, but it was awesome.
Really?
It was awesome.
Was that the Amway Center still, is it called, or is it something different?
IKEA now.
Okay.
It's a beautiful arena.
Same location or different?
I'm not sure. I've never been to there. I think probably the same location.
I lived in Orlando a million years ago.
Okay. But, it's kind of tucked right in between the interstates there in a downtown area. Very nice, beautiful in-game entertainment, unmatched. I mean, from, just the this to that, the crowd entertainment. They walked an American flag out with a bunch of little kids, which I thought was a nice touch to have a real American flag out there. Just top notch. And every time somebody's coming out, they're shooting pucks or doing this. So the Grizzlies do have good in-game entertainment.
Grizzlies do have their game ops. People are good.
Yeah.
They
could stand to go around the league probably. I'm sure they do
and do some research.
But they could bring some stuff back to make it even better because the lower bowl tickets are already sold.
Yeah.
Everybody, those tickets are all accounted for. You got to get people in the stands.
You got to get people in the stands.
So that we can sell hot dogs and beers and parking and stimulate the economy down in Beale Street.
What's your thought about the organ music when they're playing as opposed to in college there is no music when they're playing?
I like the music.
Do you?
I do.
I hate it.
Do you?
That's the one thing I dislike about NBA. The game ops is music playing while the action is going on.
Messes my ADHD up, I think.
Side.
I'm just kind of. It's overstimulation for me, right?
I prefer to hear the sneakers squeaking and the guys talking and hearing them talk and their defensive rotations and calling out screens. That's basketball nerd stuff, maybe, but I like to hear that.
Yeah.
And then as soon as a dead ball, play whatever you want to play in the PA. But I feel like, and for me, I prefer to hear the basketball noises.
Yeah.
While the action is happening.
And this is coming from some guys that grew up in the Coliseum.
Exactly right.
Exactly.
We had it was awesome. It was a thing. The sneaker squeak was a whole thing.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get both sides of it. I do.
Absolutely.
The NBA dollar is the ticket is expensive.
It is.
Memphis is more value. I mean, it's a better deal, better value in Memphis than anywhere around the league. You'll see a lot of opposing teams. It's cheaper to fly from LA to Memphis and sit courtside than to buy a nosebleed in LA.
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
That's so crazy.
Isn't that wild?
So
makes sense.
you get a lot of that. So
Probably why more people should move to Memphis. Obviously,
Bring
value.
Bring
value
it on.
City. That's
Bring it on.
That's us. Hey, speaking of winners in Memphis,
we
because
got
we're
a
going to
bunch
have
of
one
them.
again with the Grizzlies. We had a Memphis winner in the Super Bowl.
Bro. And there's been a lot of them.
There has been a lot of them.
Researching this.
I mean, as of recent note, Kenneth Walker III, who was the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Arlington High School.
the
Shout
Seahawks.
out Arlington.
Very
Very
cool. Arlington High School. And
Cougars,
this
I think.
dude, when they did the player introductions, did not even mention Michigan State. He said, Kenneth Walker III, Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis.
Not even Arlington. He said Memphis.
Represent.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Represent. Who? You did some research on this. Who else do we?
I don't know all of them, but remember the Isaac Bruce days. Of course,
course.
everybody does. We all love D'Angelo Williams. You guys remember him?
Yep.
Stephen Gostkowski, Jake Elliott. We've had these Kenneth Gainwell. The list kind of goes on and on. I mean, I don't want to get exhaustive about it, but the point is that Memphis is almost always connected to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
There's almost always a Memphis player, whether they're winner or the MVP or not. This has got a rich history of football and Super Bowl success.
Yep.
Right here.
Didn't
in
you
this
say
city.
that Peyton Manning was conceived in Memphis?
Yeah,
Another Super Bowl winner?
I read
Born or
that.
conceived. We weren't sure on that.
Yeah.
Was that straight from Archie that happened? Was that like a chat GPT?
I need to check my notes on that.
Check your notes on that? Okay. Man, I thought, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how we
So,
can verify that.
I heard he
but-
was born at Methodist, but Wikipedia is telling us different things. I've got to call into Archie to find out about the conception.
Sure.
And there's some other guys. I mean, Michael Orr was born in Memphis.
Right.
You mentioned Peyton Manning. So I mean, there's just it's been a litany. And it's like when Memphis does anything, we just don't half-ass it.
That's right.
Like everything we do is greatness. I mean, all the way back from the Kings. So I just think it was really cool in a Super Bowl that talked a lot about Bad Bunny versus the MAGA halftime show or whatever. Can I be honest?
Did you
I didn't
watch
watch either.
either?
I didn't watch
You watch
either
either?
one. I didn't watch either
like
one.
Bad Bunny.
What did you
watch
do?
either one.
I thought he was good.
I was at a
liked it.
cheer competition. I was
Fair enough. That happens.
and I was like, we were at Disney or something, and like I went back and tried to watch the Bad Bunny thing, and I'll be honest, like I thought the set was cool, I thought the production cool. I've got to brush up on my Spanish. I didn't understand a word he said.
Not a word he said.
I didn't understand it. So
Which was fine.
that's not my fault for not necessarily liking Spanish music or being drawn to Spanish music because I don't know the language. I think it's cool. It's fine. You can do what you want to do. This is an American tradition. It's an American pastime. It seems to me like if you're doing something like that, you're doing it, again, clickbait. You're doing it to stir this.
Yes, this is
You're doing it to create division.
How was the Spanish with Shakira? Did you like that?
I didn't mind it at all.
Didn't mind Shakira's
Be careful.
Spanish.
Nancy
Not
Armour's going to
one
write a thing on us.
bit.
Be careful.
I mean,
You'll have to
this,
remind
there's. I listened to
She
Tony
sang?
She did.
I'm just kidding.
Shakira sings in English.
She's beautiful.
I listen to Tony Kornheiser podcast often, and he references somebody he knows that they've always says the answer to all your questions is money. And there's no truer statement I think I've ever heard, and that the Super Bowl and the NFL, I feel like they've reached their limit in what they can do in the United States. They're not gaining more fans in the United States.
That's a good point.
They maximized Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce to try to bring in females, American females. They cannot get bigger here. And so how can they make more money? How can they grow the game? Well, they're playing overseas games every year. Well, how do they grow it even bigger than that? How do they get more viewers for the Super Bowl? When you've got 150 million viewers already, how do you get more? Well, you get the largest streamed artist in the world to play your halftime show. Who cares if it's not English? The answer to all your questions is money.
Money.
And so if you've maximized the United States, you've got to go elsewhere. Well, then go get Bad Bunny. Doesn't matter that. Get the Spanish speakers. Everybody in South America and Central America who is not watching, doesn't even know what American football is, but they're going to watch Bad Bunny play a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And so now you have more viewers and potentially more fans. On top of that, you have everybody talking about what you're doing and making it a polarizing.
Well, you're the music guy. What did you think about it?
It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a TV product. The point of it is for it to look good on TV, and it did look good on TV. and it had some moments where you're like, "Is that Ricky Martin? That's awesome. That's Ricky Martin."
God, he looked good, didn't he?
Although I will say,
He's holding up.
little bothered that if you're going to bring Ricky Martin on and he's not going to play Livin' La Vida Loca, what do we do?
How did we miss that?
Because if you're going to bring Gaga on, you would think, well, if I'm bringing Gaga on, she's going to sing a Gaga song, except she sang a Bruno Mars song. And so if you're going to do...
Shouldn't she have done Alejandro?
What do we do? If you're going to bring Ricky Martin in, sing Livin' La Vida Loca.
Yeah,
honestly, probably the thing I was most offended by is that they didn't do Livin' La Vida Loca with Ricky Martin there. The rest of it...
Yeah, Jay-Z, get it together, bro.
It looked great.
No
Menudo,
Menudo reunion either.
No, it looked good.
You know?
I liked him carrying the football.
Mark
around.
Anthony, there was other.
I thought everything about it was fine. I could care less about the songs because I have no idea what he's saying, and so I don't.
But you were entertained. Entertainment value is there.
It's hard for me to emotionally be moved by that because I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
However, if you're just like, this is a TV show. It's meant to be entertaining and look cool on TV. Mission accomplished. We split screened the Turning Point one and this, and the Turning Point one looked exactly like what I thought it would look like and sounded exactly like what I thought it would look like.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, well, there's some country guys.
Yeah.
And then Kid Rock.
Some good country guys.
And then there's this,
Lovely
which
boys.
is the main show.
So speaking of the Memphis connection, what would be cool would be Memphis musicians who have played a part in the halftime shows. I bet there's a ton.
Somebody did an article on this, I thought.
Did
the
they?
Whalums.
Yeah, Whalum did it
there have
with
been
Bruno, right?
Multiple Whalums
Yeah.
involved in Super Bowl halftimes.
I believe it.
Super Bowl performances.
I believe it.
I bet there's a ton of Memphis.
There's been a bunch of Whalums. There's been a bunch of Memphis musicians, I think, involved in that.
Boo Mitchell, those guys won another.
Absolutely.
For the Center soundtrack, won another Grammy.
Dude.
Recently.
How about that?
Unbelievable. Shout out Boo Mitchell.
Shout out Boo Mitchell.
From keeping me out of a Black Keys concert to a Grammys. to a Grammy. No, we made up since then.
Thank goodness.
I'm kidding. Yeah, so.
We have not made up. I still
No, yeah, what the hell, Boo? No, I got in.
All right, so Alex, listen, have you ever leaned into your last name kind of like Mike Lowry and been like, my name is Alex Rasmussen?
Yeah, I got you. Raz was the high school.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the people hard pronounce the U a lot, so you get the Musin. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I think you should.
Rasmussen. Yeah.
Rasmussen. I mean, that's real quick and real.
Yeah.
It's real. I think you should lean into it. You get that Raz.
Is that Nordic or German?
It's Danish.
Very cool.
So Denmark.
Very cool.
There's a couple of Denmarkian Danish presidents.
Right?
Well, that would be the Netherlands.
That's the Netherlands. You're right.
Speaking of Scandinavia, guess what's going out of business?
IKEA.
Memphis, I know.
Speaking of
But is there a market? Do you like that segue?
I did what a second.
Is there a Swedish meatballs? Is there really a market here? I mean, they're good. They're good.
I bet you. Just hold your breath. Swedish meatballs will be at Costco any minute now.
R.I.P. Costco put IKEA out of business. In
probably.
fairness, Memphis is a Costco city.
Who doesn't like terrible furniture you have to put together? I'm just kidding.
I've actually got a guy. Shout out my guy Ray, and all he does, and this office is full of IKEA furniture. Is you buy the stuff from IKEA, he comes to your house and puts it together.
That's his gig.
And yeah,
brilliant.
That's
brilliant.
He's done a lot of work for me
That's
through
been
the years.
saving marriages for years now.
Let me tell you, buddy. And I feel for guys like Ray. So R.I.P. IKEA. Memphis does not need to be losing stuff, but they'll find something cool.
No, but this is not exclusive to Memphis. Like IKEA is closing and huge furniture stores closing.
Wayfair put them out of business.
Is not like that.
Yeah.
That's not just here. That
You're
is
right.
all over the place of like
Yep.
huge physical store or physical product stores that
Right.
take up massive amounts of real estate with
An inventory.
an inventory.
They have a
the
road
shipping
named
business
after
like
them.
it is now. This is not like a Memphis problem.
So that big space will be the world's largest spirit Halloween store.
Dude, that's gonna be a haunted house, right?
It's got to be.
It's got to be.
I think you have to convert that probably into multifamily, some type of affordable housing for Memphis.
I'm sure
That's what it needs to be.
that would work.
It's a huge area. It's a great location. It's right by the church. It's plenty of shopping. If I were the developer, I'd probably be wanting to put some kind of cool little neighborhood.
Yeah.
Bring a cafe, bring
Absolutely.
that whole multi-use type shop, live, dine.
Like concourse almost.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
That's what I would do.
I like that.
And he's already got the little apartments set up in there. I mean, hell, let some homeless people, some unhoused, go in there.
Unhoused. I think we can still call them homeless here, right?
Yeah, in Memphis.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. We got to do. We've got to get back to the city in meaningful ways. And if I'm sure IKEA is paying a lease there. They probably just decided it was cheaper to close it down than it was to keep running it.
Probably so.
I haven't seen it busy in years.
Yeah.
You people, when it first opened, people were
man, places slammed.
It was crazy.
All the time. That was they were. I had matter of fact, there was somebody made a post about that on Instagram, and some guy was like, it's too nice for Memphis. It should have been in Nashville. And I was like, I try not to like internet argue with people, and I had to clap back. I was like, my man, of all the takes, this was not a good one.
I got it. It was a bad.
What are you talking about? It's too. Number one, IKEA furniture is not like some high dollar, too nice for Memphis furniture. It's attractive, inexpensive furniture that is not something of like, oh, this is way too good for Memphis. What are you talking about?
It's a $7 coffee table.
That's exactly right. Mm-hmm. Are you saying it would thrive in Nashville? And I have to pay Ray $25 to put it together because there's an influx of young, poor college kids coming in there that need furniture for their apartments? Okay, I guess. Yeah, sure, it could thrive there, but like we talk about the economic status of Memphis, and Memphians need inexpensive, nice, cheap furniture too. So if you look at it from an economic standpoint, it would also work here as well. I was like,
did you win the internet argument?
I think so, because he did not.
Did you get flamed like I did?
No.
You were the last to respond.
Not only did he not clap back at me after that argument, I had people were giving me.
They came,
me up.
Folks calling you, texting
like, I did
you.
It.
Yeah, you
won. I won the internet, guys.
Yeah, you were smart to leave the internet to itself.
I left it.
I actually, and this is a bit of a detour, but I got into an internet argument over the weekend, and I don't like it. You can't. And this was in one of these private neighborhood Facebook groups for our neighborhood out in Germantown.
No.
And here comes like Karen and Sally and their husbands. And they're complaining about our kids driving around in golf carts in the neighborhoods.
Sure.
Because they're everywhere in Germantown, right?
They are.
And they're like, it's like, the girls must have been 9 and 7 and they're way too young to be driving golf carts. And then, here comes Karen and her mom and everyone talking about, well, they're on e-bikes and they're on scooters. And so I'll pipe in and I'm like, you know what, guys, listen, you're right. We could all do a better job of paying attention to our kids in the neighborhood and taking care of their safety. Sure. But like, you're going to, if they're there, let's look out for them, right? And if our kids can't go into our own neighborhood and hone their skills driving or getting some independence or whatever, where can they do it? Mm-hmm. And I get that they probably need some level of parent supervision and skills before you let them on their own.
Of course.
But one's got to assume before they let their 9 and 7-year-old daughter take the golf cart around that they had probably made sure they could back it up.
You would think so.
And you know what? They probably will wreck it. Something could happen. You're right. But like, I could also trip over a rug and bust my face in it. Like, is that how we're living with our kids? So I made this counterpoint and they went hard. It was like, we're going to call the cops and here's the law and your kid's got to be 17. And I was like, I just kept coming back.
Do you want them to just stay on the couch and play on their iPads?
That's what they want.
I mean,
that's what they want. Our kids can't have motorbikes or they can't do anything.
Listen.
Lock them away.
At 11 years old, I was standing on my bicycle riding it down the middle of the street with no hands. Because what else was I going to do? I had nothing else to do. And no parents are like, you know what? These kids today, they've got to stay in the house more and stop doing all these dangerous stuff on their bicycles. Yeah. You're right. They need to learn how to operate these things. But come on, guys. At least they're outside.
I mean,
go outside, nerds.
It's kind of my point. And I get
touch grass.
Come on.
The neighborhood has been, especially right after Christmas time. Now everybody's got them. The e-bikes have become extremely available. Everybody's gone and saying, okay, well they got a golf cart. So it's happened in this neighborhood. Yes. It's a bit of a takeover. But and I told them, I was like, you got a few choices here. You could just accept it, be more vigilant. You could move into a retirement community or to the country, or you could become the neighborhood Gestapo and start calling the cops every time you see a kid riding around. Like you have the decision what you want to do. But, I have a feeling more parents in this neighborhood agree with me, considering that kids are all running around.
It's similar to like complaining about the bird scooters downtown. Like, can they be annoying? Of course they can be annoying. Can people be reckless and not pay attention on them? Of course they can. Hey, but at least they're out downtown having a good time. Like, let them get on these bird scooters and they got to pay for them. They cost money.
Right.
They're putting money into the economy. Maybe they'll go eat at a restaurant because they didn't feel a different one because they didn't want to walk that far.
Well, there's a movement in psychology called safetyism with a lot of parents and adults where it's funny because all the research shows the real risk for kids are online.
Yeah.
Predators, molesters, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So we've gone overboard in the real world, right? We've been like risky play sort of is good for kids.
Yes.
It builds their confidence. It builds their resilience. Yes. All kind of good stuff on that. I'm going to write you, since you sent me some good stuff on my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you, so next time she chirps at you.
I had some stuff.
I got some book titles, all kinds of stuff for her.
There are. I know there's like that dad that has the house where it's like you come over, like there's no supervision here, right? And the kids just go crazy, and then it's like you're building resilient kids, and this point that I hate for you to get that call one day when your kid's head busted out, like. Obviously,
you're right. Nobody wants that.
I would be, and every time I see my kid out on that, I'm like, take a deep breath and I pray, and then I'm trying to be more vigilant to watch out for other people's kids because like I'm looking for them. So like, I get it. I understand the point and the counterpoint, but this idea that you can't drive a motor vehicle until you're a certain age and you have this and you have that, it's like there's an in between there.
I mean, listen, if there would be far less. All these kids with their e-bikes and whatever, if people were driving through neighborhoods not looking at their telephones, probably wouldn't be as big of a deal because you'd be aware to see these children and not have to worry about hitting them.
Yeah.
It's just as dangerous. And you're in a 5,000-pound car.
Yeah.
You
looking at your telephone.
Well, I don't know if I want it, but when it got to the point where he was like, "Yeah, well, next time, if you want to do this so hard, we'll call Germantown PD," and I was like, "Okay, well, I think I responded to that, and then he either blocked me or deleted all the comments. So I don't know if I won or lost.
All right, so you tied on the internet. I won on the internet.
And Greg's TBD.
Greg's to be determined.
You're being too kind. You're being too kind. There's no way to contact me now. I think I've lost.
I don't know, Greg. I think you won. I think people got a little too sensitive.
I think Lindsey Vonn is sweet on me.
Let's call it. We're calling it.
You think that it might be that? Like, I like that silver fox. I'm married, Lindsey.
I think that's what it is.
Leave me alone.
Silver fox.
Leave me alone.
We're calling it 2 wins and a tie. Speaking of more winners in Memphis, hey, why did you miss Super Bowl stuff? What was happening?
Oh my God! So listen, I'm cheer dad.
Before we get out of here, I got to hear about this.
Yeah, I'm cheer dad now, and here's what the crazy
I'm
thing.
dance dad.
Yeah, dude.
Tell me about cheer dad.
It's rewarding. It is, and I'll tell you why. Because we won.
Yes.
Had we come home with second, I'd have been. I would have been, because I mean, listen, like shout out to Chris Crabtree, who's the head coach of cheerleading in Houston, both at the middle school and the high school. The guy clearly knows what he's doing because he's won lots of national championships. He's done this. But there was a point where my daughter was broken back in November. Like she didn't make the mat. She's an alternate. And I was like, look, you can either let this break you or like come back from this, right? So she keeps pushing, makes the mat. They go, they win the thing. It's unbelievable. But now I'm in it, and I'm like, I don't understand how this works. So now I study this. I'm studying the scoring system, the rank. Now I think I've got it figured out. I think I might be like a professional cheer dad. Because we won. How could you debate?
Can you bet on this? Like Polymarket or something?
You probably could. We could probably create an app.
I'm asking for a friend.
And here's the crazy thing.
If you've got the inside knowledge on this, then...
I think you're right. And you know what? The cheerleaders, you got to give them some credit because these are athletes, guys.
Oh, without a doubt.
They're definitely athletes.
Without a doubt.
Holy shit.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
The tumbling, the strength. I mean, you're talking about small girls who are holding these, spinning them around, flipping them over, getting kicked in the face when they don't catch them right.
Noses for if you're a base in cheerleading, it's pretty incredible.
And there's a guy, speaking of the betting thing, we should call Jeff Webb, who's a Memphian. He started Varsity Spirit.
He's done well
in
for
1974. Himself. I mean, there's some numbers online. I mean, the company's valued at $2 billion. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about a guy that started this cheerleading thing here, Memphis competitive cheer, and now they take over Disney. For it's so big, it's 2 weeks, and it's not like a couple of them there. It's every hotel, the entire Disney parks, the entire ESPN Worldwide of Sports is full of cheerleading. And there are some areas of the country that breed these cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And Houston High School in Germantown is one of them.
Yes. I did not know, I'll be honest with you, I did not know Varsity was a Memphis company until I was like in my mid-20s. And I'm out touring and meeting people, and they're like, oh, you're from Memphis? I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, I used to go there all the time for cheerleading stuff. And I was like, what competitions are here? They're like, no, to go for Varsity, because I worked for Varsity for a minute. And I was like, Varsity is in Memphis? I had no idea.
every uniform and jackets and competitions and rankings and online $40 to watch this thing. Like I'm talking about big business that was created right here, and their manufacturing facility, their main headquarters is down there on the river, just past North Memphis.
Yeah,
there,
sure is.
In North
that
Memphis.
whole area just north of the pyramid is like
it's all theirs.
It's all theirs. It's like a cool little area. There's some nice little like wedding venue, banquet hall types places there.
Unbelievable.
That's like an area that totally never went to until I had to start playing. I played a few events down there, and I was like, what is going on down here?
Yeah. So shout out to the Houston High. They did not have what they call a hit. It wasn't perfect. They had, but they didn't. None of their girls hit the ground. But the level of difficulty of their routine was so high that even with a couple of flaws, the next best, who was basically almost perfect, couldn't
get them.
So it was unbelievable. I was impressed. I had never kind of seen the full force of the full, and wow, it was incredible.
Shout out!
And
to
at
them.
the same time, I'm driving somewhere, and a phone message pops up, and Brad Arnold of Three Doors Down, the lead singer, had died. Who was my, two of my favorite lead singers, you and Brad Arnold, like big time Memphis Delta guys. Tell me about when that hit you and kind of you're in the scene.
Sure. No, it was kind of just a gut punch. I was telling you before the show, it was hard when I found out that he had like stage 4 cancer. When that was announced, that was like, to me, that was the real gut punch, because you're not really surviving that. It's just a matter of time.
He's our age.
Yeah, he's our age. Like that is he is our age. He is rich. He is successful. He is one of the nicest dudes in the world. That band was never shy about acknowledging how lucky they were. Like they were not one of those bands who are like, oh no, we're like these premier songwriters. We're real, introverted and heady, and we're smarter than you with our songs, and we're excellent musicians. Bro, they were like, we are some good old Mississippi boys. We love playing music. We just wrote these songs, and their first record was recorded here in Memphis at Ardent Studios. The one with Kryptonite. That record is recorded in Memphis, and they were never shy about like, we're just a band from Mississippi that we like writing songs, and we are so lucky. And that the way they treated other bands and other musicians. My buddy Zach Myers worked for them for a little while as a tech.
Really?
And then they toured with Shinedown a bunch. We played a show opening for Three Doors at one of the casinos several years ago, but we played one show with them.
You did.
And
I was there. And it was a rowdy crowd.
They gave us a care package, like a tour care package. It was a Three Doors Down backpack, multi-tool, like little, to do your nails, what do you call those?
Manicure set.
Like a manicure set, like all the Three Doors Down branded stuff that they give to all their support acts. And it was like, that's like going above and beyond nice. They don't have to do that. They just do it because like these are on the road musicians. Yeah. This is necessary. This is stuff they will need. And it's like a nice little touch. And I just hated seeing that because they were just nice people, a really good band with some great songs, and he's our age. And just out of nowhere, it can just, hey, I've had a stomach bug for a minute, and it's not going away. You go to the doctor, and like, oh, the reason is because you have cancer all over your body. Yeah. And you're like, what in the world?
Well, I think the name of that album was A Better Life that was recorded here in Memphis, and we can only hope that Brad Arnold has moved on to a place where he'll have a better life.
We can only hope. Is that how we going out?
I don't know. Well, how do you think that we should end it on that? Or
I think we can.
We'll be back.
I think, of course, we're going to be back.
This was an intense episode.
This was an intense episode. I mean, we talked about some wins. We had some losses. Yeah. some superficial, some not superficial. Yeah. And
some virtual.
Some virtual. However, I think tipping our cap to Brad Arnold, and just, yes, it's a sad story and it sucks, but by all accounts was a good dude. And I think anytime we could, even if it's on a little bit of a somber note in the show, for acknowledging a good dude and the existence of a good dude and the impact that he made, which was
absolutely.
And still had ties to Memphis, even though he's a Mississippi guy.
It does. And go see some live music while you're out in Memphis over the next couple of weeks, because the next Brad Arnold is probably going to be out there.
Out there playing a show.
Next couple of weeks playing a show.
Wherever, High Tone or Lafayette's or Growlers or wherever.
Something like that.
Wherever. Well, thank you guys for joining once again, the Where It's At podcast. I don't know when we're doing this again, but we're on some schedule.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. We're on a schedule. I just don't know it yet. But what's happening? My name is J.R. Moore. You can call me J.R. You can call me Justin. Whichever way you know me, I'll answer to both. To my right, Alex Rasmussen. Greg over to my left. We will see you again as Where It's At.